Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In this video, you're going to learn how to create your very own custom presentations here inside of Bolt and make them look absolutely gorgeous. Each of the slides will have load-in animations and represent data that you've taken directly from a Notion data source. This makes creating new updated presentations incredibly simple. We'll also explore the free-to-use SlideDev framework, and we'll examine how to build presentations using this framework, allowing you to add annotations, presenter notes, and record webcam videos while you're presenting too. So let's dive in. Let's explore some example data from Notion that we'll be using as the substance for this PowerPoint. Let's have a look at the Northwind Q1 demo data. Here we have some example metrics, growth and retention, unit economics, etc. We'll use this information as the basis for our presentation. To start off, let's grab the exact Notion page name and copy this to our clipboard. Now let's jump into Bolt, and here's our prompt. Using the Notion connector, look at the page Northwind Q1 Financials, using the exact page name we just saw in Notion. Create a slideshow to present all of these metrics in a beautiful, captivating, and efficient manner. Use the design.md file attached for design guidance and do not use SlideDev. So a few things to cover here. First of all, because we're using the Notion connector, let's make sure that we've got our Notion connector enabled. We can turn off the other unnecessary ones for now. We see the green dot. If you haven't connected Notion, come into Manage Connectors, click on Notion, and follow the prompts to connect. Next up, let's paste our design.md file. I've taken this design.md file from Google Stitch. If you want to learn more about that process, you can follow along in the video linked above. And finally, I've told it not to use SlideDev. SlideDev is a presentation framework that you can choose to install, and it automatically enables things like presenter notes, annotations, and webcam recordings by default. However, it does cause a bit of UI limitations, so in this instance, I'm trying to optimize the UI, so we're not going to use it. The Bolt agent has a tendency to use SlideDev if you don't indicate otherwise. So this all looks good. I've got our agent in max mode. Let's put our agent into plan mode, and we'll generate our plan. Plan's complete and it looks good. Note that for question 1, we've said that I will be adding financial information for future quarters. So save this in a way that I'll be able to add more information later. Basically future-proofing this presentation. This looks good. We'll take it off plan mode and send off the build. The Bolt agent's finished working. Now let's check out what it's done. Because we told it to future-proof this, it's actually gone one step ahead and it's already pulled in Q2 and Q3 here into the Bolt database as well. Let's start off by inspecting the Q1 presentation. Q1 financials, it's got a gorgeous load-in animation, it's got these nice metrics down here, and it looks like it's got this really professional polish. Jumping to the next slide, again, a really nice load-in animation. It's saying that the ARR is 10.7 and MRR is 0.89. Looking at the metrics in the Notion page, we can see that those figures are correct. Let's keep going through the presentation. Another nice load-in animation. This bar fills nicely when it loads. This runway coverage looks really gorgeous when it loads as well. And overall, it's almost as if a professional motion designer has created this. Here we have our P&L summary showing revenue, COGS, and other important metrics. And finally, our 5-quarter trajectory. It looks really good. Now let's check out one of the other quarters, Q2. Notice it uses the same PowerPoint template, but it's updating the metrics. Now our ARR is 12.4 and our MRR is 1.03. Back in Notion, we'll change over to our Q2 financials and you can see 12.4 and 1.03 million. Again, showing that it's accurately pulled the right data from Notion. Let's now have a look at the database structure that it's set up. It's created the table called quarters. Let's open this up. It's showing us Q1, Q2, Q3. And as we scroll across, you can see, for example, our headline metrics. It's showing us quarter over quarter, year over year, value, etc. We can click into each of these rows and edit the metrics if we'd like to. Let's now add a nice little touch. Here's our prompt. This looks great. Please add the ability to view a table of contents showing all of the slides in one screen. It should also have a preview of how each of the slide looks, not just their title. And let's build. The prompt's complete. Let's test it out. Q3, we open it up, and in the top right, we now have this overview button. Clicking on it has a really nice loading animation. Each of the slides has hover effects, and it's even showing a preview of the slide as well, allowing us to jump directly to it. Overview, again, we can jump directly to those slides. A really nice touch. Now let's add a finishing touch. Here's our prompt. On the select a quarter page, use the shader connector to make a gorgeous shader background instead of the black background. It should have slow movement and use similar colors to the current design. Make sure that I can still see the white and gray text clearly. Now let's go ahead and we'll turn on our shader connector. Note you do need to have a membership with shaders for this to work. Just like that, the Bolt agent has used the shader connector and it's added this shader with the right colors into the background here of select a quarter, giving it that nice, exciting touch. Because the user will select one of these quarters, it's kind of fun that the background reacts to the cursor position, but I can imagine that being quite distracting if we're doing that here in the slideshow itself. But here's our prompt to add a shader to the PowerPoint slides. This looks great. Now please add another shader to be the background for the presentation. It should be more subtle, darker, have slow natural movement and not react to the mouse's cursor position. Looks good, let's build. The agent's finished working, so let's test it out. Q2, select, and there we go. We've got this nice shader background, which has this very subtle movement to it. It's also not as obvious as the previous one, so that we can still read the text and it doesn't distract too much from the slides. Notice it doesn't change its position or refresh its motion when we change between each of the slides, and it's a nice subtle background. So now you've seen how easy it is to create a gorgeous animated presentation inside of Bolt. But what are some of the other benefits that you can expect as well? Firstly, if you're giving presentations on a regular basis, for example, it's now Q4 and you need to present Q4 financials, it's super simple to bring those in and add them as a new presentation. Here's our prompt. I've just added the data for Q4 financials in Notion. The page name is Northwind Q4 Financials. Use the Notion connector to add this data as a new presentation. We'll make sure that our Notion connector is enabled, and just like that, let's go ahead and build. The agent's finished working, and in one prompt, it's added all of those Q4 financials and created a slideshow based on it. This process is easier and much faster than if you were to manually replace these figures in your PowerPoint creation software. Another major benefit of creating presentations inside of Bolt is your ability to publish and share it as a URL. Simply clicking publish means that you're now able to provide a live URL to any of your viewers. If you need to make changes to the presentation, it means that when they revisit that URL, they will instantly see the updated changes, instead of you having to email out another version of the file. It's easy to edit this subdomain. Simply click the Edit Domain button, rename the subdomain, check that it's available, and if it is, click Save and republish. Let's now open up this live URL. And here we have a real-time version of our presentation. Let's go through it one more time. We'll open up Q4. It's done a gorgeous job creating each of these slides. We can go to the slide overview and change the slides using that navigation. For those of you curious what the build would look like if we did opt to use slide dev, let's test this out too. Now we've got the exact same prompt. We'll make sure Notion is connected. We've added our design.md file. We'll put it on plan mode, and notice this time we said use slide dev. Let's generate our plan. The plan's complete, so let's answer the clarifying questions. We'll turn it off plan mode and let's build. So the agent's finished working. This time it's implemented slide dev. Now, one of the giveaways of using slide dev is along the bottom here. It has all these options. Here is where you can, for example, turn on annotations, and you can use this to mark directly on each of the slides. You can remove those if you want. You can change the different colors. And notice that you could build these custom in Bolt if you wanted, but you'll be using time and tokens, whereas slide dev, by installing this package, it instantly adds all of these abilities. Also, we can turn on speaker notes just like this, and we can edit them, add in speaker notes if we want to. It shows us the presentation time, and we can even do things such as enable the webcam, and we can record if we want. So those are the benefits of using something like slide dev. Notice that as we do progress through the slides, notice that they maybe don't have quite the same visual polish and the nice load-in animations as when we built it from scratch. But that said, it's done a pretty good job overall, and does look quite nice and is up to an acceptable standard. So there we go. You've learned how to create your very own custom presentation in Bolt so that you can publish it directly to our URL. We've seen how gorgeous some of these slides looked simply using a few prompts. This is a great way you can share investor information with potential VCs or investors or any other interested party in your project. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you found this tutorial useful, and good luck creating your own presentation slides here within Bolt.